It's morphin' time. Pterodactyl.
Hi there, this is Datila with 3 years of wrestling, meaning that it's wrestling time, a post show, and for tonight I will be reviewing AEW Dynamite. Alright, so let's get started. So, Dynamite ended with the ROH Television Championship match between Minoru Suzuki and Samoa Joe. This was Samoa Joe's second match, and I believe Minoru Suzuki's first title defense. Now, I'm pretty sure there was going to be some back and forth here because it's like, does Minoru Suzuki win? Does Samoa Joe win? Like, who was going to win this? And me personally, I would have been okay. This would have been an instance where I would have been okay if it would have been a draw. But it wasn't a draw. We actually got an outcome. All right, so this was one hell of a match. I really like the back and forth chest chops between both men. I mean, both guys looked red. It looked like when you forget to put on a sunscreen lotion, then you get sunburn. That's how they look. Like, they were really, really red. And then at one point, Samoa Joe took an elbow to the face. He ended up knocking down Minoru Suzuki. There was so many chest chops in this match. I lost count after 5. Minoru Suzuki with that drop kick to Samoa Joe, and I was surprised Samoa Joe actually was victorious here. He ended up winning the Ring of Honor Television Championship match. I believe it's the first time he's ever won that title. But if you guys recall, last week, Sanjay Dutt and Jericho said they had a present for Samoa Joe, and they were going to give it to him this week. And so Dynamite was supposed to go over, so I was still surprised that the match ended exactly at 7 p.m. or 9 p.m. or 10 p.m., depending on wherever coast you're on. And the present ended up being Satnam Singh, which was like an Indian baseball player who got drafted and playing for the NBA, I think. But I've never heard of this guy. Never. And I really did not know who he was until they commentary said who he was. So I don't know how I feel about this guy. He's either going to be the Undertaker or he's going to be the Great Khali 2.0. We have to wait and see. I mean, he pretty much the AEW Khali. Hello, yeah, maybe. Santana is AEW's Great Khali or almost terrible. Yeah. I mean, he did dominate Samoa Joe, and of course, it's understandable because he wants to make a big impact. But we just have to wait and see. Can he talk? And of course, with the right opponent, he will look fantastic if he's terrible. But but against any other wrestler, he might look terrible. So I don't know. If Dynamite would have ended with just Samoa Joe winning, would have been okay with it. But I feel like this attack kind of brought the quality down a bit. Well, at least that's what I think. What do you guys think? Like I said, personally, it should have ended with just Samoa Joe winning. They could have saved the sneak attack for another night. And if we were going to go over time, it should have been because of the match, not because, let's end the match and then have the sneak attack happen. The match should have gone over at least maybe 10-15 minutes and then have the attack. But I was just kind of, it left me wanting more. I wanted to see more Suzuki versus Joe. Michael 101591 saying, sad time almost made me grab my pillow. Did Tony Khan have a meeting with Bruce Pritchard? I don't know. Maybe it seemed like it because that was just, it was not a good way to end Dynamite. Sure, you start off strong and you try to do too much and you ruin the quality. That's, at least I think so. Okay, but like I was saying, AEW Dynamite kicked off with an incredible bout between CM Punk and Penta Oscuro. I really dug this match. I mean, speaking of chest chops, this match had back and forth chest chops as well by both men. I like that Penta put Punk in the ankle lock. I mean, you don't see that every day. Felt like I was watching Raw at the end of Dynamite. That's a good comparison. And then I really liked how Penta blocked the GTS that CM Punk tried to do. But at the end of the day, like CM Punk caught Penta mid-air. I put caught Punk. And he hit him with the GTS. And of course, CM Punk went. It was a great match. Great way to kick off Dynamite. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad Punk won. I do like Penta, but I'm really glad Punk won, especially if he's gonna enter the title chase. He needs to win. Then we had the AEW World Tag Team title match. It was Jurassic Express. Oh, excuse me. I don't think they go by Jurassic Express anymore. So I would say Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus versus ReDRagon. So I really enjoyed this match. This was 2 bangers back to back. So AEW did fantastic putting this card together. Of course, ReDRagon, tried up, used their tricks with Bobby Fish tripping Jungle Boy. Kyle O'Reilly causing a distraction. I did like that double clothesline and chokeslam to ReDRagon that Luchasaurus did. That was incredible. But it wasn't meant to be. At the end of the day, Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy retained their tag titles. And then at the end, Bobby Fish hit them with the steel chair. And then FTR came out and confronted ReDRagon, which was incredible if you ask me. Michael 10159 said, awesome match from Punk and Penta. It was a dream match for them. Yes, it definitely was. It was a dream match for everybody. I didn't even know I needed that match. But like I said, 2 banger of matches back to back. Then we get a backstage segment with Blackpool Comeback Club. We find out they're going to have a trios match on Friday. It's going to be Wheeler Yuta, Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley versus Billy Gunn in the Gun Club. They said that Wheeler Yuta spat in Bryan's face. He bled with Jon Moxley. So I actually really dug this segment. So I'm curious to see how they go as a trio. Then we get another segment with Toni Storm and Jamie Hayter. Hayter says this is a match. She wants this match with Storm, probably more than the fans wanted. And Toni Storm smiles and walks away. So they're facing each other. So I'm very curious. I'm really intrigued by this match. Oh, and then we also had a segment with the Jericho Appreciation Society. They're coming off a plane. I believe it was Jericho, Danny Garcia, and Jack Hager. They're coming off a plane. And Jericho says, that's how you travel as a sports entertainer. And so then afterwards, there's like a car. You see Kingston, Santana, and Ortiz. And they pretty much mugged 2.0 with their shoes and stuff, which I thought was so hilarious. Oh, my God. All right. So then we get MJF versus Captain Shawn Dean. And so MJF being the heel here, I guess you could say he played possum because he was trying to act. He was acting like he could not get his sweater off. And he used that to be able to attack Shawn Dean from behind. And then he takes off the sweater. So, again, he played possum. And then as they're fighting, you see that it cuts to the back and all the security guards are laid out. And then as MJF is like trying to celebrate, he's leading towards the barricade, Wardlow comes out and attacks him. So I kind of saw that coming. I mean, they kind of made it a little obvious, especially with the security guards laid out and Wardlow keep coming through the crowds. So I think the Shawn Spears tried to hit Wardlow with the chair, but that didn't work. MJF's the very first count out in AEW there. Really? It's the first count out? I could have sworn there might have been another one. But the thing that I like is the referee's counting. And MJF is trying to get him to stop. And he's like, whatever Tony Khan is paying you, I'll triple it. Just stop counting. But then the crowd, you can hear the crowd tell him, no. And that was so hilarious. And I think the fact that the ref ignored MJF and basically continued to count, which allowed Captain Shawn Dean to win via count out. And then you see MJF argue with the referee. Shawn Dean beat MJF again. Yes, he did. So that was very hilarious. Like, honestly, very funny stuff right there. Then we had a trios match with Santana, Ortiz, and Eddie Kingston versus Jack Hager, Chris Jericho, and Daniel Garcia. Michael 101591 saying someone needs to meme that shocked look of MJF's face after he counted out. Oh, definitely someone will meme that. Definitely. You'll see. So my favorite spot in this match was when Santana did the Three Amigos to Daniel Garcia. What a beautiful tribute to Eddie Guerrero. And I really, really like that. And the crowd started chanting, Eddie, Eddie. So, a really cool spot if you ask me. And then I also liked when Jericho gave the crowd the finger. He was basically giving people flipping the bird here. But, despite their best efforts, Daniel Garcia stole it from Santana, Ortiz, and Eddie Kingston. So the Jericho Appreciation Society was victorious, and then there was a post-match beatdown. So what do you see? Let me see. MJF and Wardlow storyline has been amazing. Yeah, it definitely is. It definitely has been amazing. I actually like it. But the question is, who wins? Wardlow or MJF? Who needs to win more? Who needs to win more? MJF or Wardlow? So, speaking of MJF, then we get a backstage segment with MJF. He basically saying he has money and it makes the world go round. And he's going to have Butcher face Wardlow, or say Slaughter Wardlow, basically. What I think is going to happen, I think it's going to be Wardlow versus MJF, probably at Double or Nothing, which I might attend. More on that later. And then I think MJF, whoever wins, I think Wardlow would have to beat MJF here. So that's just my take. It's probably going to happen at Double or Nothing, and I think Wardlow would win. But what do you guys think? Then we had Mina Shafir versus Sky Blue. Wardlow needs to win more. They are booking him in squash matches. Yeah, they stopped doing that since he got kayfabe sent home by MJF. But Wardlow does need to win. I do agree. He needs to beat MJF. I think MJF can afford to take the loss because he'll rebuild himself. But the question is, if Wardlow wins, where does he go from here? So, okay, so Mina Shafir pretty much dominant of Sky Blue is expected. I think this is her AEW debut match. Correct me if I'm mistaken. She wins by submission, so I'm not shocked there. You could see Jay Cardo in the back really not taking this seriously or paying attention. Mark Sterling is the one taking notes. I took notes too. But, anywho, it says, what a terrible debut for Marina. She put the crowd into a coma for that match. Almost fell asleep. Yeah, she did. She really did. This was not a good match. I get what they were trying to do. They were trying to showcase her as a dominant, but it just was not a good match, honestly. I don't know if it's because of her herself. Maybe, I don't want to say Sky Blue was not the right opponent for her. I don't know, but this did not sit well with me because if she's going to face Jade, and, Jade's improved a lot. I don't know. That match may not be as good as it's supposed to be, but we'll have to wait and see. I mean, I just did not like this match. And it's nothing against Sky Blue or Mina Shafir. It just did not make an impact. Then we get a backstage segment with Hook, who they try to interview again, but Mark Sterling interrupts and says, why is he being interviewed and why is Tony Nese not being interviewed, the hottest free agent in pro wrestling? And then Danhausen also shows up and Hook throws a ball to him. So I actually really like the dynamic between Hook and Danhausen. I want to see more of it. It's so funny that Danhausen's trying to curse Hook and Hook is just like whatever about it. Let me see. Marina would just be known as the wife of Roderick Strong. Ouch. 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 So we find out. So then we get a segment with Men of the Year. And we find out that Sammy will get a rematch at Battle of the Belts. So that should be an interesting match. We also find out that the Ring of Honor Championship is going to be defended at Battle of the Belts. Jonathan Gresham is going to defend against Dalton Castle. Should be a good match. I cannot wait. Alrighty. Then we had Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs versus Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland, a tag team match that has been building for weeks. We finally got it here tonight. I have to say, I really enjoyed this tag team match. I was surprised by the outcome, but at the same time, it was to be expected. So, Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland worked really well together. I like how at one point, there was an Easter egg to Lee by Ricky Starks, and I like that Keith Lee threw Starks onto Powerhouse Hobbs. And then at one point, you see Taz coming out and observe the match, and Powerhouse Hobbs got sent crashing into the ring post, courtesy of Swerve Strickland. And then at the end, Powerhouse Hobbs attacks Keith Lee and allows him and Ricky Starks to win the match. Not surprised entirely because they were in Ricky Starks' hometown of New Orleans, Louisiana. But at the same time, I personally wanted Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland to win. But hey, they were the hometown. AEW usually allows wrestlers to win in their hometown. I think there's been quite a few that have lost, but it was because of storyline purposes. Then we get a really cool segment with Thunder Rosa and Nyla Rose gives hands Thunder Rosa a cake, and Thunder Rosa says, does she think she's stupid? And they say, well, yeah. And she calls her estúpida, which means stupid in Spanish if you don't know Spanish. And she starts beating her up, and then Nyla can't see, so she accidentally attacks Vicky, which I thought was hilarious. And then Nyla sends Thunder Rosa crashing into what is that, like a suit thing or a barricade. And then we also found out that Darby Allin challenged Andrade to a coffin match. Should be a great match, honestly. And then again in the main event, it was a Ring of Honor Television Championship match between Minoru Suzuki and Samoa Joe. I talked about this in the beginning, but just to get a summary. Let me see. Michael 101591 says it's good that Ricky Starks got the win in his hometown, but at the same time, not liking that Keith Lee took the pin. I mean, somebody had to take the pin. It was either going to be Keith Lee or it was going to be Swerve Strickland. So somebody has to take the pin. I know Keith Lee shouldn't have taken the pin, but so like I was saying, so I talked about this match at the very beginning, but just to give a quick summary, it was an incredible match between Samoa Joe and Minoru Suzuki. Definitely surprised Joe won, since this was Minoru Suzuki's first title defense, I believe. And Statham Singh attacked him again. We don't know if this guy's going to be the new Undertaker or the Great Khali 2.0. Time will tell. Was not a clean pin though. Yeah, that's true. I think Taz got involved. But with that being said, I have to give tonight's episode an 8.5 out of 10, just because that women's match did not do it for me. But aside from that, it was a solid show, top to bottom. At least I thought so. If you take that match out, probably would have been a perfect 10. But it's just that match, that women's match, just did not do it for me, honestly. So I get an 8.5 out of 10. And then we also had some news today. FIFO Select reporting that the AEW video game could be coming out sooner than later. It said that they have a tentative internal release date for late September, and that there's still plenty of work to be done by then, but the plan has long been for the game to be released this year, and that September is widely regarded as a target as of now. So what do you guys think of them releasing the game in September? Are you guys looking forward to it? I definitely would probably buy it, maybe play, but I'm not sure how you feel. I haven't bought a wrestling game in a while. Dynamite 8 out of 10. Main event was awesome. Definitely 7 out of 10. Also, to add to it, and the reason why I also give it an 8.5 is because the show should have just ended with Samoa Joe winning. There was no need to include that guy at the end. If you would have just had it, it would have been, maybe I would have bumped it up to a 9, but so I'm still looking forward to the game. Yeah, I mean, I'm not much of a video gamer, but I would play a wrestling game, so I definitely would be checking it out. That's for sure. I'm very curious to see what the final product looks like, definitely. But with that being said, you guys, that concludes today's show. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or release a new video. I don't know if you guys are aware, but I did get my AEW loot crate, so I should film an unboxing and release, and I will be releasing that pretty soon. So thanks again, and I'll see you guys tomorrow after Impact Wrestling. Have a great night, you guys. Bye.